Why is it important for you to correct the problem of rationality? The reason is, although it is kind of in your self-interest to continue to be irrational, it's against the interests of society as a whole. You're imposing serious risks on the rest of society. Now, there's only a small probability that you're going to change public policy with your attitudes, your behavior, and your beliefs. However, the consequences to society as a whole are very large. And of course, if a large number of people are irrational, which is in fact the case, then it's a virtual certainty that society is going to suffer negative outcomes. Right, now, I claim that this is the most serious social problem. The worst social problem that we're facing is not the problem of world poverty, or the problem of pollution and destruction of the environment, or even the problem of war. The most serious problem that we're facing is the problem of human irrationality, because this is the problem that prevents us from solving the other problems. If you're going to solve a problem, you generally have to have accurate beliefs about it. So, take as an example, suppose that you have a doctor who is trying to cure one of your illnesses, and the way that he's going to come up with a cure is he's going to reach into a hat and, pick something out, right? You're probably going to be made worse off, right? You'll be lucky if he doesn't make you worse off. He's certainly not going to cure the problem. All right, so this is roughly how I see our political system, right? Because if you're forming beliefs in an irrational manner, it's like you're picking out of a hat. All right, so what could you do to combat irrationality? And my claim is, at least the first step is to identify the problem. First step is admitting you have a problem. You've heard that before, right? Now, I can't tell you all of the steps because it would take too long. So I'll just tell you, these are some signs that you might be irrational, right? The first thing is if you're becoming angry during political discussion. Now, I don't mean if the other person is insulting you or punching you, but I mean if another person is advancing a political position and arguing for it, and that makes you angry, that is a sign that you have certain biases that might be preventing you from thinking objectively about the subject. Okay, second sign that you might be irrational is if you have strong opinions about a subject before acquiring relevant empirical evidence about it. Now, most of these political issues that are discussed in our society, there is a lot of evidence out there about them. For most of them, there's an actual academic literature, and people have done studies, and they've collected all kinds of statistics. If you haven't looked into any of that literature, but you have an opinion about it, it's probably irrational. Okay, a related sign is if your opinions do not change as you gather evidence, that is a sign of irrationality. Now, it could be... Of course, it could be that you're just lucky and you happen to get the right answer, without having evidence. But what's more likely is that you have a phenomenon known as dogmatism, where you just stick with your existing opinions, and when new information comes in, you just fit it into your existing opinions. Okay, a couple more signs of possible irrationality. I didn't put these up as examples of the irrational people, although it could be taken that way. I put this up as an example of people who are used as information sources. If you collect your information only from sources that you already know you're going to agree with, that is a sign that what you might be trying to do is to reinforce your existing beliefs rather than to learn new things. The people that you're most likely to learn something that you don't already know from are people who disagree with you. Right? And the last sign that you might be being irrational is if you think that people who disagree with you must be evil. Now, there are some evil people in the world. However, it is unlikely that a large segment of the population are evil. So if you're under that impression, the most likely explanation is, again, that you're suffering from this problem of dogmatism, whereby you're unable to see the arguments for another position.